All right, we live. We live. V live and the V live because we live. I don't even know what that means. I'm sorry. I'll just stop. All right. If the video or sound quality kind of sucks, y'all just let me know because I am in the process of uploading video content to my drive folder for work that I have to get done. And unfortunately, I'm at my mom's house doing some house sitting. Yeah. So, that being said, internet quality kind of sucks here, and I can tell it looks kind of fuzzy. But glad to see that we're getting some viewers in. Kirby, what's going on, man? How's it been? Take a minute to let some people hop in before we go ahead and start. But we got some really interesting content tonight, something I haven't gone over before, and it's definitely a benefit to anybody who runs an agency. So if you guys are rewatching this in the replay, you can go ahead and skip forward a few minutes. So that way you can just get straight to the content if that's what you're looking for. Again, I apologize for the video quality if the video or sound kind of is a little choppy right now. But it should get better as we go on. Fuck bitches get money. I like it. People already, well, I mean, no offense to the ladies. I think that's just like a saying that's just like, you know, not ladies bitches, but like bitches, like people who are just bitches, you know. Number one was blocked. None of them should be blocked. If it is, though, let me know. Both of those videos should be on there. I could access them. Let me check. Because I always check to make sure it's accessible from another account. I'll check really quick. But today we're going to talk about finding partners. We're going to talk about some ways that you guys can actually, number one, the first and most important reason why landing partners is awesome, or finding partners is awesome, is because you can use them to land new business for your agency. So let me make sure these videos are working. But you can utilize these partnerships to land new business for your agency. And the way you're going to do that, oh, yeah, they are hidden. All right, I'll make sure they get are uploaded later after this video. Yeah, pricing number 2 is uploadable. I'll change the first one later so that way you guys can view it again. Thanks for letting me know, though. Yeah, I'll make sure to change that out so you guys can rewatch that if you want. How much money do I currently make for my agency? That's a little personal, but it's a good bit. It's quite a bit. But yeah, I prefer not to talk about exactly how much I make with my agency. It's a decent amount of money, I will say that. But honestly, if I'm being frank, it's none of anyone's business, and I don't prefer to put that information out there. Tai Lopez, all those other mofos can put their personal information out there like that and how much they make. Just know it's a decent amount of money, plus, you know, all of the affiliate marketing and the online school, the vlog channel, all of it combined. It's doing really, really well. In 2018, I will say this is going to be the year where we really, really go for it. We're trying to, oh, yeah, dude, I definitely, full-time, by far, like, this is what I do on a regular basis. This is what I do. You can check out my channel and see what we do at Zero Entrepreneur Academy and at Rest and Bar Marketing. But, you know, you can definitely make a full-time living on digital marketing. You just have to, like, that's the thing that most people miss. And that's what kind of irritates me about big courses like Tai Lopez's or, you know, some of the other ones, mostly Tai Lopez's, because I took it to see, you know, a lot of the content, what it was about, and to see if it could teach me anything new. And I wasn't impressed. It didn't teach you the basics of what you need to know to really make money in this industry. They kind of give you, they focus a lot on social media, which is great, but there's other things like SEO, web development, pay-per-click, creating content, the content marketing strategy, understanding how to build sales funnels. All of this is stuff that we talk about in my course that a lot of it wasn't covered in some of these other courses that I've, you know, taken, and that's kind of why I decided I wanted to build my own. But yes, to get back to your question, you can totally make a full-time living off of this. You just have to start going out there and getting customers. Hopefully Derek will hop on here, or Kayla, or Jason, or any of my other students who are doing this, but they'll tell you, like, Derek jumped in my course around November. Since November, I believe my course has helped him land almost 9 new clients. So in about 3 months, he's landed 9 new clients. I believe he's, making over $10,000 a month in revenue for his agency. Kayla's making well over $10,000 a month. She's working on landing a couple contracts for $25,000 to $50,000 per month. And that's what I'm working on this year. I want to get one of the bigger clients. I have a lot of $1,000, $2,500, $5,000, which is great, but I want the clients who are paying the high end, like $50,000. That's what I'm really working towards. And that's a whole different project when you're working on a $50,000 ad spend or ad budget, not ad budget, but marketing budget versus a $2,000 marketing budget. You have a lot more to work with. But anyways, let's talk about partnerships really quickly and why they're important, why you guys need to be going out and finding partners. And a partner doesn't, so we're going to go over a few different types of partners. A partner doesn't necessarily have to be a business partner, okay, just so you guys are aware of that. It doesn't have to be someone that comes in and they own a percentage of the business, whatever. Like that is not the only way that you can partner with someone. So we're going to go into different types of partners. We're going to talk about the benefits of partners, the downsides of partners, and then you doing your due diligence, so vetting that person to make sure that they're actually worth working with, right? So first thing we're going to talk about is the different types of partners that you can have. So number one, first type of partner, you can do trade with someone. That's a form of partnership. I am currently doing trade with a business in Atlanta for office space, business memberships, printing, internet, coffee, conference room space, all kinds of different stuff, right? So I'm getting $1,200 in value, basically all of this office space, stuff like that, and conference room, membership, stuff like that. I get $1,200 worth of value there, and I'm basically doing roughly $300 to $400 worth of marketing stuff. If I value it, face price, it's about the same, $1,200, but the amount it's actually going to cost me to get that done is around $300 to $400. So I'm basically profiting like $750 to $800 there. So that's a good thing for me. It not only gives me a place to have an office space at, but now I can bring people there for meetings. Instead of going to meet at a Starbucks, I can say, no, you can just come to my office. We have conference room space. We'll go ahead and rent that out. I can hook up my laptop to the big TV that they have in there. We project it on the wall, makes it really great for presenting. It's super professional. You guys can do this too. So this is something no other marketer is teaching you. I guarantee you this right now. If you learn one thing from me today, learn this. Go out in your area and find a local co-working opportunity, a co-working community, okay? What these are, sorry, I'm itchy. What these are, a co-working opportunity is basically, or a co-working community is a office space or a big building, right? And what they do is they put multiple offices, conference room space, open like library type seating space, stuff like that. They put this in one big building. And what it's used for is people who need office space, occasionally, or if they just need a place to get away from home so they don't have any distractions, whatever it may be, they need that office space for something. They just don't need it all the time. So they pay a membership fee and they get access to that location, their Wi-Fi, their printing, all of that, free coffee, all of this stuff, right? Which is really cool. It's cool for 2 reasons. Number one, I get free office space, all that, like I mentioned. But number 2, now I'm the only marketer in this co-working space. They have business people in there all the time. I get to meet with them. They're going to help promote me to all of these people and relationships that they've built with these other business owners, so that way I can get more business from that little area, more marketing business, more clients is basically what that means. And they're just going to hand them to me. I don't have to do anything. There's no real extra work. I might go in and do a presentation once a month, twice a month at this co-working space to these membership groups and do like a marketing presentation. That alone is worth the value of the trade right there. So that's a trading type partnership. You could do this with several different clients. You could do it with web development people who do web development. They own a web marketing agency or a web development agency. That's all they do. You could do some form of partnership with them. There's tons of different ways that you could trade with different businesses that are in the same industry as us. Another one is going to be percentage of ownership. You guys have probably heard this before. You basically give them 25% of the business. They give you like $100,000, or you could do another form, which is called sweat equity. We'll talk about that in a second. But basically, you're giving them a percentage of your business in exchange for some form of monetary value, time, or work, something like that. So that's a great way to build a partnership with someone there. And Number 3 is going to be share of profit. So instead of giving them a share of your business, what you could do, and this is my preferred method, is do a share of profit with them. So you could say, okay, well, instead of having 25% ownership in the business, we're going to give you 25% of the profits that we generate every single year from now on. So that's profit share. Instead of giving them a portion of your business, you share with them a portion of profit every year. And then the last one is, like I mentioned earlier, sweat equity. Excuse me. And if you aren't familiar with what sweat equity is, basically just understand that if a person wants to work with you, they want to partner with you, but they don't have the cash to do it, they don't have money to give you up front, all you need to understand is that you can give sweat equity to them. So what this means is you'll give them 25% of the business. Say that's the deal you work out with them. We're going to give this person 25% of the business, but you don't have any money to give us. So what we're going to do is over the next 4 years, you're going to basically work for a piece of that ownership. So we'll say okay, let's do 20% just to make numbers even. We'll give you 20% over 4 years. You'll earn 5% each year, and that's called vested equity. Basically, what that means is after a year you own this much, after 2 years you own this much, after 3 years you own this much, and 4 years you own this much. And you can even put in rules to say, if you leave the company 2 years early, they would have 10%, right? But if you leave the company 2 years early, we're going to take 5% back, so you'll only keep 5% of that equity. There's different ways to work out these agreements. Talk to a lawyer or an attorney who's in business law if you've never worked out a sweat equity agreement or a vested interest type agreement or a vested equity type agreement. Next part that you need to understand is the due diligence section. So guys, look, when you're trying to find a partner, you need to understand something. You can't just go out and pick someone just because they have money. I recently have had someone reach out to me and they want to invest a large sum of money with my business. And as exciting as that is, I still told them up front, I'm like, look, that's great. I would love that money. Trust me, that would help me a ton. But here's the thing, I don't just partner with anyone. We're going to have to sit down and talk. We have to get to know each other. I need to know what your values are, what your goals are with the company, why you want to work with me. All of these questions that you need to ask. You need to vet the person. You need to look into their background. Do they have a poor background, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, whatever it is? That's going to be a factor if you're giving them, say 50% of your business. That's going to be huge. You don't want to give away 50% of your business, and then this guy ends up in jail, a year later, and you're like, well, what the hell? Well, you can't even do anything with this portion of the business. Easily, at least. So, make sure that you're vetting the person. You don't just want to work with anybody. You need to do your research and make sure they're quality. They're a quality partner. They're not going to screw you over. They don't have a bad track record. Like there is this one guy that I worked with when I first started my marketing agency that thank God I never partnered with this guy. Not that it ever would have happened, but if he ever would have asked to partner with me, there is no way in hell I would have done it. That guy was one of the worst people I've ever worked for. And, that's why we don't work with him anymore. He was a terrible, terrible person to work for and would try to drain me out of everything. But, it just wasn't fair on my end. So we had to cut the relationship. But those are just the type of people you don't want to work with. It's going to be a waste of your time and a waste of your money. So that's vetting the person. That is a super important part. Those are the four different types of, equity or partnerships that you can form. And then you want to do your due diligence. So now that we've talked about that, let's quickly talk about some benefits and some of the downsides. So obviously some of the benefits are going to be, number one, you can get some financial gains. Someone might, give you $100,000 to partner with you and to give them a percentage of business or profit share. So that's a great thing. You get more money to work with. That's great. Number two, extra help. You have someone who wants to work with the business. That's awesome. Now they're going to spend time. They're going to put money and effort into this business. They want to see it grow. It's, more heads thinking on the same project. You have more people to bounce ideas off of. It's just easier with more people. You get to delegate work, right? Number three is going to be experience and knowledge that they bring. So they might have different experiences than you have. If you partner with someone who's a little older and has done business before and they're just looking to get into something new, they bring a ton of value to the table, especially if they've run a successful business in the past. So this is stuff you guys need to ask them, of what businesses or what success have you had in the past with running a business? These are all super, super important questions, and you would want to prepare for something like this. Don't try and wing this. I'm telling you, you will regret every last second of it. So other than experience and knowledge, the last thing is going to be it eliminates your marketing budget. So by partnering, so one thing that I recommend, and this is actually what I've done, I have a web developer. I have actually 2 web developers here in Atlanta that I partner with. And what they do is they actually are going to start sending me basically their current clients. If they have clients that they're working with right now that have mentioned in the past that they need marketing help, they're going to send those marketing clients my way. So that means I don't have to spend money trying to acquire clients. I don't need to spend money on Facebook ads or hiring someone to go out and do sales calls, especially if they're coming in, right? I don't have to pay for that salesperson to go out and sell them or to go out and find new business if they're being brought to me, and all I have to do is go out and close them. You know, that's a great thing to do. Find someone who works in web development. That's the best one. Find someone who works in web development and say, hey, you know, what kind of deal can we work out where, you know, I'm going to bring you web development projects, you bring me social media marketing, email marketing, all that kind of stuff. How can we work this out where you and I both make money from it? And that's all you have to do. You work out deals with these people, and they're more than willing to because they are trying to grow their business too, okay? So find people you can work out deals with. If you find someone who runs an agency that is just that, so like that's the best thing. You find someone who does only web development or only SEO or only, you know, social media management if that's something you don't want to manage. You know, that's it. You find someone who works in the same industry as you, say, hey, how can we trade? How can we find, or how can we both benefit off of our book of business, basically is all you're trying to do. Now the downside. So biggest downside is disagreements. When you bring on someone else, someone different than yourself, you're going to disagree with them. And especially if you do a 50-50 split with the business, that's why people don't like to do that. If you do a 50-50 split with the business and you bring in someone new, that means they have just as much say in the business as you do. So you don't get to call all the shots now. And that can be tough for people who, you know, want to run their own business. And that's why you have to be super careful. If you partner with someone and give up, you know, 50% of the business, you're giving up 50% of the control of what the business does to grow, how it operates, all of that. So super, super important because you don't want to get stuck with someone that you don't want to work with long term. If you know this is going to be a business that you're working on for the next 5 to 10 years, it has to be someone that you can stand to work with for the next 5 to 10 years. Like Ted and I can't stand Ted. No, I'm kidding. Ted, I hope you're watching. No, I'm kidding. But Ted and I have known each other since college. We've worked on several businesses together, and we butt heads. Obviously, we butt heads just like anybody else, but we always work out those issues. It's always easy to work through the kinks that we have and come to a mutual agreement with something. We're both very open-minded. We both, you know, we're not trying to fight about something. We're usually just trying to find a solution. And that's someone you have to be able to find for your partnership or for your business. You have to find someone that you can relate with, someone that vibes with you and has the same goals, motivations, and inspirations that you do. So outside of disagreement, number 2, obviously less share of profit. If you give up 50% of the business or 25% share of profit every year to that person, you lose out on that portion of the profit, right? So, but that's the thing. You're doing all this to scale your business to make more money, because if you're making $100,000 and you get 75% versus $10,000 and you get 75%, you still made more money, right? So that's the end goal behind the partnerships. Yes, you do lose, you take, you know, less of a share of profit, but as long as you grow your business, that's okay, okay? Third downside, and probably a pretty important one that a lot of people forget, is the loan. If someone pays, you know, if they give you $50,000, say, right, $50,000 to invest in your business, but you only give them a percentage of profit, you can work that out every year. But if you're only doing that for a certain period of time, they expect to get that $50,000 back. Like if you only do share profit for 5 years, and that doesn't even cover their $50,000 investment, they're still going to want that money back. So you have to actually work out something that's going to be feasible for both parties. That being said, you basically need to work out, one sec. Okay, good. You have to work out a partnership that is feasible. So, you're gonna have to pay that loan back, is what I'm trying to get to. So that $50,000, if you pay them a percentage of profit for 3 years or 5 years, and that doesn't cover the loan that they gave you, the $50,000 that they gave you up front, you have to find a way to pay that back, and that's a debt that you take on with your business. So another thing to keep in mind, you don't want to take on a ton of debt with your business. That's going to put you behind. And then you have to pay that debt back. That is something just lingering over you the entire time. That's the only thing, you know, with that investment, that someone wants to bring to me, I think my buddy's coming in, that investment that someone wants to bring to me, basically you have to understand, like, I might have to pay that money back if we don't work it out to where he gets like a percentage of ownership or something like that. So this could be something, that I have to weigh in when it comes down to whether I want to actually use that person or not for their investment. And then the fourth and final thing is going to be payouts. And basically what I mean by payouts is you have to pay people, you have to pay, if you partner with someone, say like the web developer, or say you partner with a SEO marketing agency or something like that, you have to pay them out. Like if that's the agreement, like with one of my web developers, I pay him 10% of every monthly marketing plan that he brings me. Chipper, calm down. He brings me, I give him 10% of every monthly marketing plan that he brings me. So if he sends us, hey, chill, come here, sit down. Sorry guys, my dog's being crazy. Sit down, sit. So basically all you need to understand is if they bring you $1,000 and you work out a 10% payout deal, that means that you're going to have to give that person $100 out of that $1,000. So you're only making $900. So, even though, you don't have to hire a salesperson necessarily, or you don't have to worry about that marketing expense, you still have to understand that you're paying out some money to that person, which, it's just kind of shitty. Well, it's not shitty. It just sucks. You never want to have to pay money. Or at least I never want to have to pay money. So that's basically it. I mean, that's just some quick tips that I wanted to give you guys about partnering up with people, how to grow your business. You can start getting more leads. You can start getting new business into your agency, all from partnering with other people in the industry or finding people who have a similar interest and want to invest in the actual company itself. There's several ways that you can do it. So outside of that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little video. Just a quick reminder one more time, we are launching our monthly mentorship program again next month, so we're relaunching it. We completely remodeled it, and basically what we're doing is one live video every week for anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour, and we're going to do that every week, every month. So if there's 4 weeks in a month, you get 4 videos live training where you get to actually ask me questions, get involved, and get answers to the problems you're having. So if you're interested in something like that, if you're interested in getting mentorship, getting help, that is definitely the program for you. And the cool thing is we're actually going to take those videos, we're going to download them and upload them to a file that's public so that way you have access to them forever, which is really, really cool for you. So hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope the quality wasn't too shitty, but if it was, I'm sorry. That's all I really got. So you guys stay tuned for all the updates. And again, we're doing our marketing mentorship giveaway next week. We're giving away 5 marketing mentorship consultations to people. So they're 5-hour-long sessions where you get to talk to me for an hour, ask questions, get help for your marketing agency. We're giving those away for free, 5 of them for free, next week on Facebook. So if you haven't liked my Facebook page, go in the description, go over to that page. That way you can get updates. Outside of that, guys, I really appreciate you hopping on and staying tuned and commenting and getting engaged with me, Serial Entrepreneur. It's been a great time.